Hello. And give us a few minutes, get things started. Hopefully everybody out there in Facebook land, or not Facebook land, YouTube land, when I do post this, can get some value out of this. Hi, Justice. Seymour. Hi. And Danielle. Michaela. Well, all sorts of people. Hello. I guess it helps when I announce when these are going to happen. One of the things I was thinking about doing this evening is in between or during slow times, I've got my homework from the voice coaches. And I figured I could read through them and just kind of go through what we do. I'm not great at it, but the exercises are still what they are. They're available. And just kind of allow people to have something to look up for. What can I be doing to practice? And that's one of the things I hear a lot is, what do you do to work on your voice? And first thing is the dog barking outside, really evident. Because I can hear it real loud, but I don't know if you guys can hear it online. It's a strange night with kids yelling, and they came to our door and sang us a song. It was really bizarre. And they're like, we're trying to raise money for kids with cancer. Can we sing you a song? I'm like, sure. I don't even remember what they sang. It was awful. It was a little plastic recorder and a little Fisher-Price accordion, like a concertina. And a little girl standing back there with a plastic guitar. It was hilarious. Sometimes dogs. I'm going to close the window. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I just need that. Okay, maybe that'll be better. Sometimes doggies get like that. Hopefully you've all had a really good weekend, and I hope a good start to your week. I'm going to start the show. I'm going to try and drink that wine that I went to open last time, which is this really pretty intrinsic bottle, which I'm going to save this bottle because it's super rad and red and blue, and I like it. One of you had it before. I didn't notice that anybody on Instagram had anything they wanted to actually talk about tonight, so that's why I figured I'd just play around. And then if I make it into smaller chunks, it's something that I can put on when I put it on YouTube for just something small and searchable. I think it'll be easier for people. And if you don't have one of these, different kind of rabbit than a lot of my friends might be used to, best corkscrew ever. Very good. I totally want you to go live with wine. I can't even talk and I haven't started yet. Do it. Do it. And since I didn't use a diffuser, we'll let that sit for a minute. Okay. So one of the things in voice that's really common is you hear about the rainbow passage and then there's the grandfather passage. And the point of those is that within those passages, they contain almost all of the sounds in the English language. They should take about a minute to read, so it's a long enough sample for a voice pathologist to get an understanding of how your voice is working. And it's really goofy. I've never read the rainbow passage before. It does appear to be a little shorter than the grandfather passage. But I looked it up because it's public domain, and it just exists out here. So I figure I'll start with that. And say, let's see. When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act like a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long, round arch, with its path high above and its two ends apparently beyond the horizon. There is, according to legend, a boiling pot of gold at one end. People look, but no one ever finds it. When a man looks for something beyond his reach, his friends say he is looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's pretty lame. That didn't take a minute. I never heard that that was a boiling pot of gold. That seems like some Game of Thrones shit right there. Nobody wants that unless you get to pour it on somebody that you don't like. Speaking of hurting people you don't like, we just watched, oh gosh, what was the name of this show we just watched on Sci-Fi Channel? Hi, Samantha. It's like Deadly School or something like that, and it's kind of fun. It's basically a little assassin's school, but not as nice as Kingsman. So we're going to see if we want to watch that and watch it regularly, but for now, it's a little hyper-violent, which is fun, and then, one of the best lines in there is some people just need killing, and that's one of the things my wife always says. Yeah, she's always cooler than the rest of us. Sam, have you been able to try, or is everything still broke? And Sam, what I was doing throughout this evening when things are a little bit slow, I was just going to read my voice pathology lessons so that other people that are looking for something like that can have something that they can copy and do on their own. Maybe. I didn't have an update on Apple. I did have one for Android, and I updated that. There wasn't one for Windows. So I don't know. Yes, exactly. So look up to start. There's a point, there's a reason for those, like I said, the Rainbow Passage and the Grandfather Passage. They specifically work on almost all of the sounds in the English language are in those. Well, we've only got 5 people here right now. I think people will join back at this point. We barely got started. So, okay, let's give it a shot. Dun, dun, dun. I think you have to request first, or do I just pick somebody? It's like roulette. She declines. No, I don't wanna. Okay, fine. I'll give you a minute. Whenever you're ready. Maybe Slayer lyrics, but I just cannot get it. I'm told that you can get, well, I don't know much Slayer actually, but a lot of like the death metal, the growliness, a lot of them apparently do it up higher in their mouth, and that's fascinating to me, but it helps keep their throat from burning out. So they can get it up higher into their sinus cavity, up into their mouth instead of their throat. But it still sounds like deep, like it's in their throat. And that's, I don't know, the lyrical stuff is really fascinating. I was watching a voice coach give critique of singers, and she was doing Maynard with a live performance of Sober by Tool, and just her going through and like explaining what it is he's doing with his voice and how he's bringing things forward and really belting things out. But he does like this awesome, no one knows what Slayer lyrics are. They're not in the liner notes. But yeah, just like the stuff he was doing was really, I hadn't thought of it like that. And he is doing some pretty amazing things, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to start and read one of these thingamajigs. So the way that they started me off, they didn't start so much with pitch because I had already gone to see voice pathology, and you do like the warm-ups, which I've been speaking all day, so I'm not warming up today, and you don't want to hear me doing pitch glides or trying to hold a note because it's very uncomfortable. Is it Marin or Marina? Hi. So I'm not going to do the warm-ups, but some of the warm-ups that you can do is just kind of get your voice working. So they're saying sustain the vowel E for as long as possible. Unload the larynx so that the point of constriction is not in the larynx, but in a more forward position. Somebody, I think Sam, that was on one of your videos, was talking about that their coach had taught them if you have, a necklace or something and you can feel on your chest where things are resonating. You can feel when things are down lower in the chest, which I'm not even going to try to do because I'm trying to avoid that, and more forward. But if you start feeling things vibrating down here, you know the resonance is coming down from the chest instead of out from further forward in your mouth. Stretching exercises to open the throat in the pharyngeal area and to feel the resonance and buzzing in the lips. So it says glide from your lowest comfortable note to your highest comfortable note on the word knoll. If this is too difficult, try starting with a lip trill from the lowest to highest comfortable note. I don't ever do the lip trill. I only ever do these like when I'm driving on my way to work and nobody can hear me. Contracting exercise, I don't really do to no longer resist the downward inflections and to get used to using the entire system. Glide from the highest to the lowest on the word knoll. I find that there's almost always a place where when I'm gliding, I get stuck on a note and then you have to push past it. But you don't want to push so hard it hurts. It's just like, oh, I've got more in there, and then let it go. So when you are starting to strain, that's when you want to stop. But you might actually have more than you think you have available in your range. You're just not used to or comfortable going there. And then as you do it more over time, you'll find sliding past that hard stop easy. But you can tell when you get to that strain point, because I mean you've heard when somebody's doing karaoke and they start straining, it's a little, then it sounds like rain and blood, and then they start coughing up blood, and it's just disgusting. Low impact adductory exercise. I love these words. These sentences just make me happy. Sustain 5 pitch levels, comfortable for your voice. On the notes middle C, D, E, F, G. Sustain each note for as long as possible on the sound O, while feeling the sympathetic lip buzz. I like that term, sympathetic lip buzz, because that just brings me joy. It sparks joy in my life. So, because I'd already worked on pitch and I wasn't too worried about my pitch, I didn't worry about focusing on those exercises right in the beginning. So, yes, sympathetic lip buzz. Take it. Need to go ahead and get that domain right now. But the first couple exercises that are on the pages are increasing habitual pitch. And they start with a word level, so you do words that force certain things. And then they gave them to me saying I can do that for this, intonation varying or light articulation, because they're just good words for it. Yes, have you ever had buzz bonnets? They're a little flower that I think they're from India. And when you chew them, they make your gums and lips numb. They're used as a light anesthetic for when people have tooth pain. It's just a flower. And I've had them in drinks, and when you chew it and then have the drink like a tequila drink, it makes everything taste carbonated. It's really fun. So they call them buzz bonnets. So I think they would go hand in hand with a sympathetic lip buzz. So these words on the page, we're looking at time-wise, 15 minutes in. So the words start with vowels, and then you can fluctuate, establishing a new pitch. But because they start with a vowel, it's easier to start at a higher thing. So it's got always, airway, aimless, oral, alleviate, LA, elite, eight, emotion, enroll, entire, erode, imitate, initial, ideal, and that's half of them, and there's more on that list. But these are all words, I just noticed that they're not even in alphabetical order, but almost. Utile, nobody says utile, but umami is always a fun word. And these words, they all start with vowels, and it gets you speaking and starting your words with a little bit higher pitch, because always is starting off with a ha part, and it's kind of nice to ease your way into using the higher pitch. Any of the word lists, anything you read, you can hyper enunciate, you can play with, use different techniques on. Just try to read it out loud. I find that when I'm practicing speech, the hardest part is maintaining speech while thinking about, you're thinking about what you're saying as well as how you're saying it. So you're doing double duty. So you want to pick something where if you're just reading a passage, maybe it's something you know, maybe it's something you don't, but you're just reading the words. You don't have to decide what to say. You only have to decide how you want to say it. And then as you do that a little more and you get more comfortable with different sentence structures, you just put it together however. And it kind of comes a little more easily. Somebody asked me earlier, I don't remember if, no, that wasn't you. Somebody asked me in a private message earlier, why don't you? If it matters to you, I don't know. I found the hardest part was when I was not out at work, but I was out socially. Um, so when I would talk at work, it was just me using my voice and my old voice. And I'm on the phone all day long, so it's a lot of talking. And I hated it because it just constantly reinforced the maleness. So even when I was taking speech therapy right up front, that was like one of the first things I did is got a speech coach. And having to switch back and forth is hard. Like I'm somebody that picks up on accents a little too quickly. Like if we were in Louisiana for a week and you start picking up on that accent, or you spend a couple days in Texas and you come back with a light drawl, I really pick up on that fast. And so when I'm speaking at work, when I'm speaking with a group of guys, I find it really easy to slip back into the male speech patterns. But if I'm at work and I'm hanging out with the women, I easily pick up on their speech patterns. And so it's really hard to do what they call code switching, basically. You're changing your mannerisms, you're speaking to fit in with a certain culture. And if you have to switch back and forth constantly, it's really hard. It's really hard. Yeah, it's. I just don't use that voice, but I find that I use the mannerisms. I don't use the lighter or the male voice. I tried it on my drive home today. Like, how did I talk before? And so I tried to bring things down and say something in a serious manner. And it was just like, it felt goofy. And it's only been like a year and a half of practicing regularly. And it's already started to change to what feels more comfortable. I noticed that my voice does get to a lower pitch when I'm more comfortable, like around my friends, where I'm not trying to present feminine or femaleness at somebody when they're my friends, like I would be in a restaurant ordering food. That's a different situation. And when I'm on the phone, what is it? They say 3 or 4 tells. If I'm out in public, I've got earrings on. I've got, just jewelry in general, maybe light makeup. My hair is a little more feminine than it used to be. I'm wearing feminine clothes. And I'm trying to speak in a softer way that might not perfectly match my body yet. When I'm on the phone, you really just have my name on the WebEx and my voice. And for some reason, Tommy Lynn doesn't evoke feminine for people, and neither does my voice. So I'm saying all this stuff not as somebody who has mastered it, but I'm saying it as somebody who is practicing it. And at some point, maybe I'll get there and maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just get comfortable with where I'm at and just not care anymore. Yeah, don't do it, Danielle, if you don't have to. Everybody always wants you to. It's like asking for your dead name, though. It's like, you're just a jerk. Stop it. Next thing, this one in particular, this page is increasing habitual pitch, and it's greetings. And it's meant, I don't know if it can be into focus. Oh, it's backwards because Instagram is backwards. They have markings for hertz. Yeah, it's a lot of mannerism. A lot of mannerism is very important. So this one is greetings, and they're meant to take take a measurement of your pitch while you're saying these greetings, and see where you sit. And it's something you can do at the beginning and the end of a session. You can use like voice pitch analyzer, or I think there's a voice. I don't remember what it's called. Voice app. I'll look it up before I leave. So these are simple. They're hello, how are you? What's up? I'm Tommy. It's nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you. Where are you from? What do you do for a living? Thanks for coming. It was great meeting you. Have a good night. I'll see you later. Goodbye. And those are oftentimes, if you listen to stereotypical, just people at work or people your friends group, you're listening to women talk, a lot of times the greetings and the salutation and the departure is exciting. It's like, be excited. The biggest thing that I'm learning, and it's once you start doing it, it helps a lot to make your voice a little more feminine in general. And I also notice it in a lot of singers. Oop, Samantha's ready now. She must have had to go get the curls ready. Let's see if this breaks. If it does, come back. Waiting for suddenly Samantha. Hello?
I think it worked.
Holy crap! Oh, here we go. Got to get you above the text. You don't like being on bottom, huh? Sass.
Hi.
Hi. So it didn't lock up. This is amazing.
No, we're live. It finally went through.
Holy crap.
I'm excited.
Very excited. How was your Monday?
It was all right. It was busy at work today. I'm working on a couple of big projects and there's like not enough hours to do everything. But it was all right. It was a good Monday as far as Mondays go.
Yeah. I finally got in on Friday. I got my leave of absence paperwork started.
Oh, yay.
And my boss and boss's boss and her boss all know now. And everything's out in the open when my leave of absence is going to be. And oh my gosh. So yeah, things are starting to happen.
Well, you're close. You're what, 45 days?
42 or 41 to wake up.
But who's counting?
Who's counting? I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, it's very exciting.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
trying to gather up all the people I know on Instagram so that we can do visits while I'm in New York.
You should. There's a whole bunch of people up there.
There are. I think mostly the New York community sustains Mount Sinai from what I can tell. They don't seem too in tune with having people come in from out of town. I don't know what
I think the real thing is, especially there in that whole Northeast corridor, there's, big enough population that most people are very comfortable going with a surgeon at Sinai. Why go west if you've got someone locally?
Yeah, it's just.
So it's a little bit isolated. I feel like it's like a little pocket over there.
Yeah, I don't know if there are other surgeons in the area or if they just dominate that region, but.
Well, you've got McGinn and Rumor are in Pennsylvania. They're just down the road in the Philly area, New Hope, that area.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not terribly far away.
There's not somebody actually from Delaware. They can't go to Delaware. There are no surgeons in Delaware. Mm-mm. You bring this conspiracy wherever you go.
It follows me like a curse.
The great Delaware conspiracy of 2019.
No, not Delaware. Alexis follows me like a curse. Hi, Alexis.
Oh. No.
Was that mean? Oh, she's not. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
A joke.
Yeah, so because I was talking on the topic of voice, which I think we both get a lot of questions about that all the time, even if you answer them in an hour-long segment.
I still get questions.
Yeah. I don't think she's saying you are cursed. I think she's saying you are the curse, Alexis. If we say your name 3 times, who knows what will happen?
I've seen this movie.
But were there any, on the topic, did you do any exercises, or was it like after your voice pitch had changed? I know you still had mannerism stuff you wanted to work on. Did you do anything specific, or did you just start watching stuff?
Yeah, so with vocal surgery, it helps with your pitch. Yeah, there's the Star Wars collection.
Some of it.
But it doesn't really help with your inflections or speaking style. So I really had to focus on that after surgery, after going 30 days without being able to speak, and really kind of reevaluate how I speak. And I feel like I'm still working on it. I feel like it's still a work in progress, but It's just as important, if not more important, to have the mannerisms down than to have the pitch where you want it.
Yeah, I see that. Like it's like when you had said in your video, it seemed like having the pitch changed would be a shortcut. But in the end, you still had to put all the work in.
Right.
It definitely, I mean, the before and after is obvious. I mean, it's undeniable. But at the same time, there was still a lot more to do.
There is. And I honestly don't consider vocal surgery a shortcut at all. You're still doing the work.
Yeah.
You're still dealing with a long recovery after surgery. You're dealing with a weak voice for a couple months after that. You're still having to practice your inflection and your speaking style.
Did you
So,
expect, did you expect to have to do that much work
well,
afterwards?
yeah, I knew I was going to have to work on that.
Okay.
My biggest issue was that I was so dysphoric about my pitch that I couldn't even practice.
Yeah. Somebody had asked me earlier, and they're like, "How do you practice around your wife?"
Right.
And because I, mostly I just had to get over myself. Just get over yourself.
Right.
So easy. And it was just a thing of, well, if I do it wrong, if I make mistakes, I'm going to end up with, I'm going to embarrass myself. But then it's like, this is the person that loves me more than anybody in the world. I think she can handle it, and I think I can handle being embarrassed in front of her. I mean, she has seen me naked, so, it could be so much worse. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
It's true though, but I mean, for me, I really struggled with it. I struggled with the practicing and training, and for me, I wanted to go the vocal surgery route. But I mean, in all honesty, I think and know that you can get just as good of results through training as with surgery because I hear it and see it every day with other people on here and in
Yeah.
person and everywhere else.
I think one of the super helpful benefits that you get, though, is like when startled, when in a stressful situation,
I
yelling
can't turn it
across,
off.
yeah,
Yeah,
across a bar. Like, I don't ever want to turn this off, but it happens sometimes.
right. So like when I wake up in the morning or when I'm sick, it still sounds like this. And that's
Yeah,
maybe one of the big pluses with surgery, but that's one big plus with a lot of other risks you take on with surgery. So
yeah,
with all procedures that anyone would consider through this process, we have to weigh the pros and cons before we make any decisions.
yeah.
There's no slam dunk in anything that's available out there. There's
No.
always risk. There's always side effects that are possible.
And oh God, don't talk to a voice pathologist about vocal surgery. Oh, yeah, they don't like that at all. Like, don't ever do that. No. It's like, well, some
I
people.
don't. So the Tin Man there, I don't know how anyone is gendering you incorrectly at this point. We spoke about a week ago, and how? How? I don't know. But somebody else also asked if I went to South Korea. Yes, I did go to South Korea and went to Yisan and Dr. Kim there.
I think Tin Man can start with a good high proof bourbon or scotch and possibly some cigars and can really work on that. I think it helps. Helps with the mannerisms too.
But see, look at what Seymour Matt said there. They guessed you would have had surgery. So, because your voice sounds wonderful and you've done a great job with training.
Thank you, but I'm trans and really I'm deaf. So I'm imagining that WD6518 also thinks that I sound very feminine too.
Yeah. Are you holding out on the bourbon?
Yes.
Now she's gone. Now it's my show. Oh, she's back.
What are we drinking? I got a glass of wine open. I don't need this.
I'm drinking a nice vintage here tonight. It's from this little place in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe you've
That's
heard of it. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty small. You probably haven't, but
the Alaka cock.
you what now?
I like a cock. Oh no, that's fine. It's because Instagram makes everything backwards.
I'm more impressed with your ability to just backwards that right away.
I had to think about it. You could see the wheels turning for a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, era catastrophe. I think a lot of us dislike the way we sound. I agree with you there.
Truth.
Yeah, phones, radios. Like I said earlier, there's just such a. You don't have the visual cues like you normally would in person. So when you're just on the phone or radio, and something having to do with earlier when I was talking about how if I'm in Texas, I pick up a drawl. Talking on a CB radio is the same way. I can't talk on a CB radio without turning into a hick. It's a thing. It's just a thing.
How often do you come in contact with a CB radio? I'm more concerned about that than anything.
I haven't actually recently because I haven't gone off-roading in a little while.
Okay.
But it is one of my hobbies and something I like to do.
All
And
right.
so, yeah, you're off-roading with somebody and you're just chatting between the vehicles. And
Breaker, breaker.
Yeah,
Richard
right?
Charlie.
Yes. This is Rubber Ducky. Come on, you had to have seen Convoy. No?
Convoy.
We got a
No.
big old convoy.
Convoy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, all the Star Wars. I'll turn it a little bit. I do have the Star Destroyers in the corner too.
My
this
gosh.
big one over there. And I've got to still build my Millennium Falcon.
That is $8,000 of Lego models.
Not quite, but close. It's like breast augmentation sitting on the shelf right there.
Right.
I had this all backwards.
Get those up on Bricklink. Get your boobies.
There we go. No. I got to have some priorities. So, you have the Convoy single somewhere? I bet you do, Justice. You've probably sang the Convoy single somewhere. I used to love that movie as a kid, though. When the trucks go barreling through the town and running everything over, it's like, oh, wanton destruction. Thanks, Amy. But remember, the plural of Lego is Lego. That's important.
Lego blocks.
Yes. It's not sad. And Justice, I think we were promised at some point to be able to hear the music that you used to sing. So I really hope we can get some links to that at some point, and I want to share them. Danielle had stereos, car stereo, or home stereo equipment, or both.
Transitioning reads like stereo instructions.
It does. It's just from IKEA, translated into Chinese, and then into Russian, and then back into English.
I cannot play the piano very well. There is a piano behind me, but my wife is the music teacher. She plays the piano. She's a music performance major. So there's a very beautiful upright grand that sits in our house, and I get to look at it and occasionally hear her play beautiful music.
Well, Basil, welcome.
Well, that's a nice comment.
And you're welcome. Yeah.
I can play the radio. That's good.
Don't let her fool you. Justice has been on stage. She's fronted at least one other band, right? Where are the AirPods?
They're right here.
I'm curious. You know what's funny is doing this, I expected we would have half duplex because we're listening to the speaker on the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise.
Yeah,
Nice
seems like it
surprise.
works pretty well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get forward-facing subwoofers. I've got some rear-facing subwoofers right now. That started almost immediately. I don't have the tweeters up front, but I've got subwoofers in the back.
Okay.
Not on purpose. People that took my transition seriously, the question is, did either of you feel that people in your life began to take your transition more seriously as you started to present more femme? I feel like until I really start to change, they're not going to get it. I think some people, even when you present fully femme, are still not going to get it. But for me, most of the people, they started right off the bat if they were friends. And then people that, like my mom, it wasn't presenting femme that did it for her. It was seeing me go through hair removal and the pain of that. She's like, well, if you're willing to go through hair removal, you must be serious about this.
Yeah, I never really, well, I mean, I started transitioning. I started on HRT about 4 months before I came out publicly. So by the time I came out, I was already, had amassed a pretty femme collection of clothing articles. And
Mhm.
I don't think anyone struggled to take me seriously. Um, no.
I
And,
struggle with believing that they take me seriously.
and thank you,
Does,
Amy.
does that make sense? Um,
Well, yeah, that's the whole imposter syndrome
yeah,
talking.
yeah. It's hard to get past that. I feel less of that more, but it does hits harder almost than dysphoria sometimes. It's just how much I don't believe people. Like I believe people mean to be really nice, but I also always feel like my woman card can be taken away, or they feel it could be taken away at their displeasure.
The
Like
only
so,
person who can take it away is you,
I
Tommy. And
understand that, like
that's the
logically,
issue.
but it's hard to remember.
It's
People
hard.
will accept you once you come out to them, and they will ask questions if they have them. Yeah, it isn't something that I stay awake worrying about too much anymore. It's more the just um, I spend a lot of time in the car by myself thinking, and that's when you get spiral down, and I don't like that too much. So you'll need to entertain me while I drive. That's really what has to happen. It's all on you guys, gals. I have a hard time with that one. The masculinization of general people in our speech, um, dudes, guys, instead of y'all. I have a hard time with that one. Most of my friends. Wow, people write a lot when you show up. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I'm not complaining. It's just like I'm noticing. Holy
Hey,
cow.
I just like that I don't have to be MC. You do the reading and I'll just sit back.
Yeah, yeah. They scroll so
This is
fast.
good. This I like. I don't have to
Yeah,
do
and
any
you're
of the
sitting.
work.
I mean, all the text is scrolling right over your face. It's so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're onto this one. Ah, my mom knew before I told her, and most of my friends, they saw me as the group mom anyway. That's also another fun one when people are like, "Yeah, duh." Like, why were you the last to know?
Yeah, that was not my experience. No one knew
No one
over
knew.
here.
Like,
No.
I never had somebody come and say it to me, but afterwards I did ask, like, did anybody have an idea about this before I did? And a few people were just like, yeah, they thought they did,
Yeah.
but it's not like they were going to tell me. Driving with Tommy, A series. Uh, Ed Calcedo? You're spreading the word, so. Finally, Danielle throwing up the. Uh-oh, you're locked.
Tommy,
Uh-oh. Oh, there you're back.
you're back.
You're back. Okay. Finally, Danielle pulls out the scatterbrain. I think that's scatterbrain, isn't it? Don't call me dude. Hey, dude. You and your Georgia wine. Curse made her blurry. Yeah, you're blurry now. I don't
I'm
know.
blurry?
You're blurry. Am I blurry? It
No.
might be the wine. Maybe you're blurry because of the wine. Yeah, your face is pixelated.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Maybe I should go.
Only if you want to. Your denial beard was effective. My denial beard was sad. I tried so
Mine
very
was
hard.
angry, angry
You had
denial beard.
aggressive. Yeah,
It was
yours
aggressive
is
facial hair.
patchy and kind of flesh colored, and it's calico, so it just kind of looks patchy, even though there's hair there. It was gross. It was just like, I was trying to
All
go
right.
it out for
My video quality is apparently terrible. I'm going to hop off.
Okay. It was lovely
All right.
talking to you.
It's
Thanks for
good talking
joining.
to you as well, of course. Bye bye. Oh, look, Life and Riley. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah, that's cool. I never even
Oh.
considered Reddit. I've never been a Redditor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just something
It,
like never got into. I
oh,
was on Imager, but not Reddit.
they're like married to each other. I'm gonna
I
hop off.
know.
I'm too blurry. I'm
Okay.
too blurry.
Too
Good
blurry.
talking to you, Tommy, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Good talk. Okay.
All right,
Talk to
bye.
you soon. I need to read back through a couple of the comments. I asked my brother how surprised he was on a scale of 1 to 10. He said, "How about 0?" Your mom was completely blindsided, though. That's, it's just funny. Like, I don't know if you had asked anybody before I transitioned, the people that said they knew before I did, I don't know if they actually, if you'd asked them privately what they would have said. But I don't know if they see it kind of like we do, where it's like, oh, retrospect. Yeah, it was there the whole time, wasn't it? Yeah, I bypassed Reddit somehow. I went from, I don't know, I just got wrapped up, I think, in other social media platforms. And I created an Instagram account so I could stalk Michelle Henley because I thought she was awesome. And then I was like, oh, hey, there's all sorts of people on here. I'm going to start using this and try to connect with younger people. You've never ever been to Reddit at all? I've followed links there, but and I have an account, but I don't think I've ever posted anything. Been out a few times. What part of the country are you in, Alexis? You'll have to Reddit if you can get surgery. I think what's going to happen is I'm glad we connected as well, Amy. I think what's going to happen is after surgery, I'm going to be bored out of my mind for like a month, and I'm going to be on all the social medias annoying the shit out of all of you. Yeah, I think it's different for our parents. Somebody says that, yeah, I told my mom about all the times she said I was like a girl growing up, and now she's still not quite coming around. And it's like, our parents made us, and it's almost like we're telling them that they made a mistake, and I think there's a guilt there, or they just feel funny about it, and so sometimes it's really hard for them to let go. I wish I could get laser. Is there other alternatives? Um, electrolysis, and laser. That's for love is power. You're going to find that the laser works better the more contrast there is between your hair and your skin. Um, and when you, close to Delaware, but not in Delaware, when the hair is very close to your skin color, though, the laser is less effective. So you need to, at that point, or if it's gray hair, to switch to electrolysis and burn them out one by one. So yeah, those are your two permanent hair removal solutions. And again, laser takes many treatments because it really is only going to be killing during the growth stage, and the same with electrolysis. So I've had, I don't know, probably 70 hours of electrolysis on my face and my bits, and I've had 8 laser sessions down there and like 5 up in my face, and I still have plenty of hair. Yeah, I've heard about places where you can do like a massive clearing, where you pretty much go under and they put you like in a twilight state for 11 or 12 hours, and 2 people work on you and just clear you in a day. And then you're going to have to do that a couple of times because not everything is growing at the same time. It's only the hairs that are growing that are going to be burned out. But some people, yes, HRT can help lighten the hair. I noticed it. So before I started hormones, before I started therapy, first thing I did when I came out to myself, right after I told my wife, is that like 2 days later, I went and got my first hair removal session, and it was just my entire body, except for my arms, because my arms are full sleeve tattoos, and you can't do laser hair removal. And the chest hair, did the chest, did the belly, did the groin. I was very happy that a Brazilian means all the way through the butt crack. Underarms, did my upper and lower legs, face, did everything. And it's Definitely lighter. I don't see as much regrowth. My legs are much more sparse in the hair department, but the arm hair has lightened up. It's the only place I didn't get hair removal, but with laser, and it did lighten up for me. But not everybody has that experience. Some people not at all. Well, welcome, Basil. Thanks for following over, and thanks for sticking around. Um, Samantha was another one, like one of the first people I added on Instagram, and just because she was uh, liking all of the posts I was liking, I was like, who's this person? And she's lovely, um, both inside and out. She's just a lovely person. We went to a rally, the Won't Be Erased rally here in Phoenix, and she was one of the few people that like came up and made me feel welcome because I'd never done anything with the trans community locally. I'd never gone to any events. I'd never been to our local support group. All I'd done is gone to the VA for group there. And she was just super nice and friendly and open. And like some other people that were there were just super great. And it's just been really nice getting to know the local community. Yeah, it's pretty fun, and I really like Robot Sunset. You're surprised how tight knit the trans community is. I think it's tight knit, but it's not really exclusionary. Really, all you need to do to be in it is say you are, and don't be a jerk. That's really all it comes down to. I think we've all been in such messy places in our lives that we don't really want to add to that for anybody else either. So we're all here to love each other. That's what I'm here for. Somebody asked if I was married. Yes, I've been married for, gosh, what is it, 2005? So 14 years. Wow, almost 14 years, 13 and a half. Yeah, and my wife, we've been together since about 2000. And it's been pretty amazing. She's been amazing. It wasn't easy in the beginning, but she's been amazing. And yes, I'm a veteran. But yeah, the community was really what I was looking for. I didn't know what to do. Don't be a jerk. Get out. Get out of here, you bum. Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I felt like nice. I felt like I didn't know what to do. I wanted to do something to give back to the community because there were a lot of people that came before me that paved the way for it to be okay for me to come out. That my company has strong, supportive LGBT policy. Um, yes. Good night, Danielle. Because there's such a strong LGBT, you know, forced rules, I guess, acceptance in a lot of the larger companies, it's because somebody else went through the hassle of being the first, went through it might be a hassle, but they paved the way. They did important work. And for a lot of people that are in smaller towns, smaller companies that have never known that they had an LGBT person working for them, I feel like it's important for me to give what resources I have, emotionally and mentally. And I just didn't know what to do. And then going out to that rally and meeting the local community has been pretty awesome. It's been really wonderful. I came out to my wife in April 2017, got my name changed in November 2017, was out at work and 100% full-time by November 2017. I made it to my first local support group meeting that wasn't veteran-based in November of 2018. It was like a whole year and a half after I came out before I even realized that there was this whole community that I was missing. It was so weird. Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome, Amy. I mean, okay, so I don't know if anyway. I used to work with Amy before either of us were out, and that woman, the change in her behavior since she has come out has been beautiful. She's blossomed, she's grown and exploded, and it's so awesome. But it's just one of those things, like having to hide at work is horrible. And if I can make it where somebody else doesn't have to hide as much or has the courage to come out and do what they need to do, just take my extra love and my support and use it. Alexis, good night. Thank you for being here. Um, Anytime, Robot Sunset, if you've got questions, I don't always answer right away. My signal at work sucks, and access to outside communications is limited, but I do kind of, I try throughout the day as well to answer questions. That's awesome, Michaela. Yeah, it's it's an interesting thing how many people, once you start to share yourself on Instagram, how many people will come out to you and ask for help. And all we can do, I never want to turn somebody away who's in a place where they need assistance and they need help and they just need support. Like Basil here, you just need somebody to talk to. Thank you, Zoe. Well, I'm still here, and all my old posts are still there, so you can watch them if you like. I've got a YouTube channel of like old chats, but they're really boring to watch when you can't read the text scrolling by as well. I try to kind of read some of the questions that people are asking so that later on I can recall what I was answering. It's just one of those things, like I put them up. I don't expect anybody to watch an old Instagram Live hour-long video on YouTube. They're more for me. But if anybody does find some value in it, okay. I'm going to chop up the beginning of the word, or not the word, the voice coaching exercises I did. I'm going to make those into smaller videos and make those, tag them correctly. So I think for the rest of these, or for foreseeable future, whenever there's downtime in my videos, I'm going to start doing that of just, let's go through some voice therapy stuff and get it where everybody can learn a little something too. Yeah, Michaela, helping those who need it. It's kind of like the best way to learn something is to teach. And I find the best way to stay energized and focused on being the best me I can be is to help other people. And it helps a lot to be able to do that and to have, it's a small audience, but it's a meaningful audience. And I'm doing my part. And hopefully, if somebody's having a bad day, I can help that one person get through another day. If they're having a hard time with their spouse, I can help them. I'm not a therapist, absolutely not. All I can give is hugs mostly, and anecdotal advice. Yeah, Robot Sunset. I think you jumped on later. Go ahead, and when this is up for 24 hours, like the first 15 minutes, we were talking a lot about voice. I don't think you were on yet. I think you joined when Sam joined. So there's just some basic entry exercises. Seymour Matt, I'm glad I was able to help, and I will continue helping. Shaunik, what's up, dude? Yeah, so you're getting on. I got 5 minutes left, and then I'm gonna have to bounce. My hour will be up, but I'm glad I can help. If you do need to talk and you're not comfortable chatting in the text here, feel free to DM me. If all I get is hi, you're beautiful, those I tend to ignore. But if you're a trans person or you are involved with a trans person and you're having some issues, I certainly don't mind talking through those things with you, and I hope I can help. Congratulations, Sean, started on the pellets. Those are the testosterone pellets. Do you have to take an E suppressant as well, like trans feminine do? Or does the testosterone automatically suppress? Gonna have to wait a while for Sonic the Hedgehog said that he started on his pellets today, which almost sounds like you're in a cubicle and you push the button for a pellet and you get a food pellet. A little Dilbert comic. Yeah, so Amy, she's got her YouTube channel. A lot of us are trying to just get the word out there, and I might end up with, I don't think I'll ever be at Sam's level, but that's not the goal. The goal is if I can be out there and open up one person's eyes, if I can help one person make it through another day, all this junk is worth it. I'm here for y'all. I will absolutely DM you with more questions. Absolutely. Yeah, please do. Like I said, I don't always answer immediately, but I will definitely help. Estrogen pellets for you too, Life and Riley. Awesome. Yeah, I'm just doing I do the injections in the thigh, and then the goserelin gonad inhibitor, and that's a once every 3 months subcutaneous implant, and that's just put in with a large, very large needle, and it's about almost an inch long, and it just sits in my belly fat. So it can hurt, but it's pretty quick, and by the next day it doesn't hurt. Your fat tissue doesn't have pain receptors in it, so it's sitting in the fat. It doesn't really do that. It's just getting it in there is what sucks. The gorgeous Elise, hello, good evening. I'm about to hop off. I got 3 more minutes and it's going to kick me off. If you started something though, I'd go follow it. So the pellets for those are the ones where you have to get a small incision and they insert it and then stitch it back up, correct? Somebody, anybody? Oh yeah, Zoladex I think is the brand name, and goserelin is the generic name, and it's a gonad inhibitor versus an uptake inhibitor, so you don't actually create anything out of your gonads. T level drop from in the 500s to under 20 within a day of getting it implanted. Spiro was bad for me. It was very, my potassium went up real high very fast, and all the side effects and the water weight and all that stuff was already evident, but it was the potassium is why they switched me over to something different. My voice is starting to get a little raw. That's something with voice that I'm still learning how to do. I don't know how to cough, and I can't clear my throat up here in resonance, in the front of the mouth resonance. It's really strange. Yeah, it was a huge drop in the testosterone. It was just like Spiral wasn't even working. It was just giving me the bad side effects, but none of the drop in testosterone uptake. So, yeah, it was a good move. I guess they were looking at putting me on Cypro, and instead they put me on the goserelin. And that's the VA's way of doing things. They have to go by a certain formulary in order. If you have an endocrinologist that'll work with you and take your ideas, you might have a better time with them than I do with the VA. VA is very supportive, but they have their rules, and you have to go through the process one step at a time to get the service and just the results that you want. It's a bureaucracy, and you have to play the bureaucracy to make it work. So we are at an hour now, and it looks like it's about to kick me off. Y'all, thank you so much for joining. This is a lot of fun. And I'm going to try to shoot for Monday nights as my regular night. And yeah, same thing, Amy. Patches did nothing. That's why I went almost straight to injectables. Well, straight. It took 4 months, but yeah, switched to injectables. But y'all have a great evening, and I'll see who pops on after this and probably join you there. And Justice, like 41 days. And I'll probably see you right after that. So y'all have a great evening and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.